Gesture Drawing by Alexander Ryshkin.
Да. Ага, ну начнем. Итак, для того, чтобы получился хороший
To
наброс,
make a good, short gesture sketch of a pose in 5 to 10 minutes, or even in 1 minute, you need to follow certain rules and sequences of drawing steps. To make good gesture sketches, you need to know a human body's proportions. You have to think about such things as, where is the middle of the figure? How many times does a head fit into a body? What is the contrapposto? Why is the axis of a supporting leg tilted? And many other proportions and alignments of a human body. All these things are a set of rules that you need to have in your head. This is the knowledge that a fine artist uses on autopilot when doing life sketches. This set of rules is necessary for constructive drawing. It is learned during long studies of figures. The second part of life sketching is tonal drawing. Every contour can have varying boldness and strength. You can render light areas with thin lines and shadows with bolder and darker marks, applying more pressure on the drawing chalk, so every volume of the human figure will have light and dark sides, making it appear more three-dimensional. All parts of the human body can be approximated as spheres or bean-shaped balloons. This puts life drawing on another level when an artist draws not just stickmen, but three-dimensional figures. The top parts of such balloons have lighter tones, and the bottom parts are darker. This gives mass and volume to the body parts. Skills of tonal drawing come with extensive practice of doing long tonal studies. The knowledge of constructive linear and tonal drawing should be embedded into your mind, so you can use it subconsciously when doing life gesture sketches without even thinking about those rules and methods. With time and practice, you will start using such knowledge automatically. When you get to such a level of skills, you will be able to do gesture sketching using just one or a few lines. Your mind will subconsciously apply proper proportions and construction in your artworks. With the necessary knowledge and adequate drawing skills, you will be able to make a sketch starting from any point of the figure. For example, from the top of the head down to the neck, outlining the shoulders, marking the torso, and depicting the legs. A sketch might be laconic or with many details, depending on how much time you have per pose. The muscle memory of your hand will work in tandem with your mind. This is where autopilot comes from. It is only possible when you do hundreds and hundreds of fast life drawing sketches after you have spent hundreds of hours making long studies of figures from life. Here is a fast gesture sketch that uses both methods, the linear system and the tonal drawing of volumes. As you've seen, this sketch took me about 100 seconds. Nevertheless, the figure is proportionate, the pose is recognizable, and the direction of light is easily detectable. Now we will change the pose and make another sketch. This time, I will use another drawing method based on tonal gradations. We mark the mass of the chest, then indicate the tilt of the hip, followed by the mass of the head and arms. When the main shadows are in place, we can draw the features of the figure on top. The outlines of the figure follow the rules of body proportions. The tonal values that we depict in the beginning help to keep the proportions of the figure in place and made the job of doing gesture sketching easier. The sequence of steps is reversed here. In the previous sketch, we did the outlines first and then marked the shadows. And this time, we did tones first, followed by outlines. The tonal drawing here helped to control the linear drawing. There is another way of fast gesture sketching. This time, I will use a damp cloth. I will demonstrate the process now. There are many ways to sketch. Using a piece of wet cloth, we can achieve interesting, picturesque effects. I begin sketching in the usual way, drawing linear outlines of a standing figure using impressive, laconic strokes. With the main outline in place, I can now use a piece of cloth and smudge the drawing with wide movements over the figure. The damp cloth spreads the red chalk pigment. Now we can continue sketching with red chalk, fine-tuning outlines and contours. A cloth can be used once again to make accents in certain places where we feel necessary. It is a very fast and impressionistic way to sketch. As soon as the paper dries, you may correct any areas using a rubber eraser as you feel necessary. Of course, we can smear chalk dust with a dry cloth. But the appearance of the smudge marks will be different should we use a wet or damp cloth. Let's change the model's pose and make another sketch. This time, I will draw a continuous outline of the model's figure. Pressure on the red chalk is sufficient to leave bold marks on paper. Now, if you want to keep a background free of pigment particles, you can smudge chalk dust with a piece of cloth from the outline of the figure, moving inward. This gives nice tone to the figure while keeping the background clean. Fine-tuning contours can continue on top of this initial sketch. With linear construction and volumes in mind, you can use various methods of sketching, making outlines, doing tonal values, using cloth to smudge the whole drawing, or just tone a figure. Let's make a sketch when the model has a more difficult pose. With such a pose, we cannot measure the usual proportions of a standing figure. That is why the figure's geometrical shapes and negative spaces play an important role. I begin this sketch with the main outlines of the head and arms, and quickly start drawing negative spaces between the arms and the body. Negative shapes help a great deal to keep correct proportions. The same can be said about the negative space between the model's legs. The tonal values are secondary, and I use them to reveal volumes of the figure. This is 1.5 minute sketch. It has very few details, but it illustrates the model's pose well. When you draw complicated poses, always think about the figure's symbol or sign, as well as negative spaces. Such an approach is especially helpful when sketching figures with great foreshortening or in reclining poses. So, as you have seen in this lesson, there are many drawing methods that can be used in 1 or 2 minute gesture sketching. Always keep in mind linear proportions and volumes of the body, as well as the geometrical shapes of a difficult pose. Also, for foreshortened objects, use cross contours instead of outlines to depict depth. You can also approximate big volumes like the torso and limbs and compare their volumes, directions, and dimensions to each other to keep your drawing proportionate. This drawing course and the video lessons you are about to watch are dedicated to the part of life drawing we know as constructive drawing. You can learn good drawing skills whatever your level of skills, age, or location. You can do it from the comfort of your home, starting right now. For students like you, we created the Life Drawing Academy, so you could learn without leaving your home from talented artists and art teachers who went through Russian art education system themselves and teach art in the best academies of the world. Here is what you will get in the Life Drawing Academy online course. For a one-time payment, you will get a lifetime access to the 52 life drawing video lessons, which include more than 70 video parts and have total playback time of more than 20 hours. You can watch those videos as many times as you want. They are available online 24/7, and you can watch lessons on any internet-connected device. You will get detailed tutorials on proportions and construction of a human head and body. In multiple video lessons, you will see the various proportions of a human body, head, and face. You will discover various classical canons of proportions and detailed instructions on how to use them in drawing. You will learn how to draw realistic portraits and figures step by step with the necessary knowledge of anatomy. As a Life Drawing Academy student, you can rely on unlimited personal support from Academy tutors. Such support includes artworks critiques, answers to your art-related questions, advice on how to improve your life drawing skills. Our personal support is provided for a lifetime and comes at no extra charge. No other art college or university will ever offer you the same deal. Every video lesson of the Life Drawing Academy Self-Education course gives more information about classical figurative drawing than students get during 4 years at a contemporary art college. After watching 52 lessons, you will know at least 52 times more about life drawing than an average art college graduate. The real value of the Life Drawing Academy course for 52 lessons, plus personal support, which is priceless, is $99 per every video lesson, which is $5,148 However, you can enroll today at a heavily discounted price of only $297. If you want to receive personal tutoring from the Academy teachers, you can apply for the Life Drawing Academy correspondence course. This is a great value, optional extra. Life Drawing Academy is your unique chance to learn from accomplished fine artists and art teachers Alexander Rishkin, Vladimir London, and Natalie Ricci, who can personally teach you strong drawing skills step by step. All three teachers have exceptional art education and spent many years practicing and teaching art. The drawing techniques and methods we teach are the same as students learn in the best art academies in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Here's what you will get. In addition to all the benefits of the Life Drawing Academy online course, you will receive one-on-one personal guidance from Academy tutors who will teach you traditional drawing skills and 100 drawing tasks. Every task will have in-depth instructions, including several discussions, critiques, and pieces of advice on improvement. The value of such tasks is $99 each, which is $9,900 in total. However, for a limited number of students, we offer this course for only $997. When the places are filled, we will suspend enrollment or put the price to its real value. This is your unique chance to get unlimited personal tutoring at a tiny fraction of what it really costs. Don't miss your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Enroll now.